We've seen Gordon Ramsay in the trenches of the worst kitchens in America and the UK, dealing with unbearable, stubborn management, disgusting kitchens, and filthy dining rooms and kitchen nightmares. We've also seen Gordon Ramsay cooking at home with his children, Gordon Ramsay in the mountains of Peru, Gordon Ramsay visiting Santa Claus, Gordon Ramsay training with the British Royal Marines. We've seen more of Gordon Ramsay than I'll ever need to see in a lifetime, but now we get to see Gordon Ramsay in a hotel? Also, I'm bringing this video to you from my parents' house, so I don't want to hear any motherfucking complaints about this microphone. Okay, anytime I use a different microphone in a video, you guys freak out. Calm down. Thank you. Gordon Ramsay is one of the most renowned and most simped over chefs in the world. He has the experience and is known for fixing up broken kitchens, broken chefs, broken marriages. But what's he doing in a hotel? You know? Why is Gordon Ramsay fixing a failing hotel for reality TV? Who thought of this? But don't get me wrong going into this video. The other day I was out to dinner and these exact words came out of my mouth under the influence of two $3 mimosas. I said, I'm a slut for Gordon Ramsay. I would do anything for that man. To which my friend said, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. And I'm sticking to my words. I love Hotel Hell. There are a lot of differences between it and Kitchen Nightmares, obviously. But I only compare the two considering that both are the same type of show. They both rely on the same formula and structure. Other Gordon Ramsay shows are just long lifestyle vlogs of a 55-year-old British man, or him screaming and eliminating staff on like a game-style cooking show. But Kitchen Nightmares and Hotel Hell rely on Gordon and his team to fix up doomed-to-fail businesses. They both start with an initial reaction as Gordon walks in, greeting the front desk/manager, asking the staff what's wrong with the place, maybe he asks about finances, Gordon trying and disliking the food, examining the kitchen, they have their first dinner service, and then there's the Ramsay renovation overnight, then there's a new menu, new kitchen, then they have a second dinner service. And I think with Hotel Hell, they kind of toned down Gordon's pee-pee dance at the end, but nonetheless, he still ends the episode with a little monologue, and that's it. So basically, the only difference is that in Hotel Hell, they sprinkle in like a little room tour where Gordon examines the hotel rooms and other things in the hotel. It's kind of like a sprinkled in type of thing. But probably the most notable addition to the formula, one of my favorite but most disgusting parts of the show, is the blue light.
Absolutely disgusting.
Which is the part of the episode where Gordon gathers the existing hotel guests, the owner, gives everyone these little special glasses, turns off the light, and goes around with a blue light to examine all the bodily fluid and sometimes blood that are on the pillows, sheets, walls, rug. It's disgusting. And it makes me want to bring my own blanket and pillow wherever I go. But I also cannot look away. Other than that, adding the hotel aspect just really improves the graphics of the show. They really stepped it up from the last installment in the series and brought it up from a hit indie game to a AAA title, so. But what I'm saying is that the B-roll is absolutely stunning in this show. I figured it was worth mentioning because, oh my god, wow. Also, really quick big shout out to realitytvupdates.com because they're immensely helpful in archiving all of this information, and I've used them as a jumping off point for my own research in this video, so thank you. But let's get into the nitty-gritty, okay? Just how successful was this show in its endeavors to turn these failing businesses around? Because we're not dealing with a restaurant anymore. Now we're dealing with a restaurant with a whole hotel attached to it, which is how the show treats each hotel. It's just a restaurant with a hotel in the back end. I don't care. Gordon Ramsay and his hospitality experts, according to the Google Knowledge panel on the show, visited a total of 20 hotels across 22 episodes, including two two-parter episodes. That's how it works. And it had 3 seasons, which is a stark contrast to Kitchen Nightmares, who visited 70 whatever restaurants across 92 episodes, across like 7 seasons or something. I don't know, do you expect me to fact check this? I did, I was correct. So across 20 hotels, now's the time to have a little mental guess of how many are still open to this day. I'll give you 3, 2, 9. It's 9. 9 out of the 20 hotels are still open as of right now in 2022, which gives the show an overall success rating of 45%, which is fantastic. But we also must note that 20 is a very, very, very small sample size, especially compared to the 70 whatever restaurants that Gordon visited in Kitchen Nightmares. I'm sorry to keep bringing Kitchen Nightmares back up, okay? I don't know what to tell you. It is worth noting that one of the hotels, Hotel Keating, Michael Keaton, the one that was inspired by Cars, closed due to the P word of 2020, don't tell YouTube, and hasn't opened back up since. Though, even before that, they reverted immediately back to their old ways after Gordon left, and the reviews remained terrible until they closed in 2020. So with that in mind, with all of these hotels failing so badly that they need to call in a celebrity chef to come fix up their hotel, nearly 1 in 2 of them still open almost a decade later is very impressive. The stakes of the hotels near closures were fairly similar to kitchen nightmares, as I'm sure they are similar to any kind of failing business. Financial problems.
The hotel is millions of dollars in debt and struggling to fill the rooms.
We have no money, so we had no choice but to live in this room.
You live in here?
I always said to my son, maybe this year we'll make a profit. Maybe this year we'll make a profit. And it never happened.
We owe $1,100,000.
Oh, so you haven't paid back the debt yet?
To the bank owner.
Marital problems, I guess, if you own it with your partner.
How's the relationship?
We're in a rough place.
We went through marriage counseling, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago?
Because of this business?
Oh, yeah.
Poor management, but I noticed that most of the hotel management issues were not nearly as severe as kitchen nightmares.
Perfect. Out of my restaurant.
Want me to go?
I would love you to go.
I will go.
Out of my
I will
restaurant,
go.
please.
Though I could be biased, it also could be TV magic. Rather than the hoteliers being stubborn, angry, and arrogant, many of the hotel owners were quite frankly clueless.
We had no idea what this business is about.
And have just had no experience in hospitality before buying a hotel.
The Roosevelt Inn is the first hotel I've ever actually owned.
I did not want to buy the hotel, but John really did.
The general manager.
How long have you been working in hotels?
Hotels would be 9 weeks. I said I'd never been in a hotel, but I'd always been in restaurants, full-service restaurants.
How does a restaurant manager become qualified to be a general manager of a hotel when you've never worked in a hotel before?
And whose idea was it to buy it?
My husband.
So it wasn't yours?
It was not my idea, actually, very much against it.
One of the outliers, though, I can think of is the Brick Hotel. Coincidentally, one of the hotels that are still open to this day, where the owner was just a tyrant.
It has been a bit of a dictatorship here with Verendar.
Okay, who's next? First thing is this. It's apple pear, no blue cheese. Where's the apple pear? Can we get this out?
Why is she doing this? Is she always on the hot plate?
She is. She's never quiet.
Which ones are done? Can you guys take those down? Is this done?
No, I've taken my stuff down that's done.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a little aggravating.
I mean, this was some, like, nice new age kitchen nightmares in here. This really brought me back. I had a good time being angry at this episode.
Guys, waiting on the red
It's coming, Verendar. It's coming. We're working it hard. They're making us nervous.
Oh, my goodness.
And don't get me wrong, there are some other goofy-ass characters on this show.
Is this cannabis?
Yes.
Poof, that's what I could smell the minute I came in here.
Yeah.
But so the show evidently worked. But was it because of Ramsay and his team? The answer is pretty obviously yes, considering all these hotels were doomed to fail without him, and the nearly 1 in 2 success rating is evident of change being good. Change is good. Looking at the 9 hotels still open though, I hypothesized that many of them would have sold the place or changed owners after the show aired. Something that I believe would not be as common in restaurants, because hotels have a lot of investment, buzz, whatever real estate. You know, the ones on the show are usually in beautiful locations. But with restaurants, you know, usually the person that opens it is also gonna go down with it. You know, they're not gonna just sell it off to someone else. It's not really how restaurants work, I think. Unless you're a chain. You know what I mean, right? So I was kind of correct in this hypothesis. 3 of the 9 hotels still open sold the place to new owners. There were a lot that closed that also changed ownership, so I think that's worth noting. So 3 of the 9 hotels that stayed open changed ownership, with 2 of them changing ownership of the restaurant part but keeping the hotel for themselves. So with 5 of the 9 hotels changing ownership in one way or another has probably allowed the hotels to continue thriving today, which is why they're still open. It is worth noting that one of the hotels that closed, the Vienna—
People say, oh, the Vienna, they're all swingers. It's a big brothel. It's ridiculous.
That being said, we're very friendly people. Very friendly.
reverted right back to their old ways after Gordon left, still had some mixed to bad reviews, but ultimately what ended up having them close their doors was a fire in 2017, so That sucks. But so the remaining 4 hotels that still have the same owners that were featured on Hotel Hell, they all have like okay to mixed reviews, except for one, and that's Hotel Chester, which has excellent reviews under the same owners, which is surprising, and I'm happy for them. So what made Hotel Chester stand out? Well, firstly, one of the owners had 39 years of prior experience in hospitality.
Graduated with a major in hotel and restaurant management, and I've been in the business almost 40 years.
And the reason they were struggling was because he got into a very serious car accident and was bedridden for 6 months, which allowed the quality of the hotel to go way down. Without him, they incurred so much debt that they had to file for bankruptcy, and the bank took their house, so then they had to start living out of the hotel, and they also couldn't afford to pay a lot of the staff anymore, so the wife decided to take up the head chef position in the kitchen, and they were just put in a really, really bad situation that's extremely difficult to get out of and get back up on your feet. So they were good people, they were really receptive to the change that Gordon Ramsay brought about. So by the end of that episode, Gordon had hired a head chef and 2 assistants, covered their salaries for as long as they needed until the hotel could get back up on its feet, and rented out an apartment for the husband and wife for 6 months. So the owners were really receptive to the change that Gordon brought about, and they were really just blinded and in such a bad rut that wasn't their fault at all. And now they're absolutely thriving, so that's awesome. And that's one of the things that I think really makes a business stand out, is your ability to adapt and change and grow over time and not get stuck in your old ways. Don't do that. So we run into a bit of a similar issue throughout most of these hotels: the lack of experience in the hotel industry. Listen, I'm a relatively confident person, but I know for a fact that I could not run a whole ass hotel just like on a whim. And I don't know what gives people the impression that running a hotel is easy or is just an investment property that will run itself. But running any brick and mortar is not an easy task. But you know what is an easy task now? Getting rid of pimples. After the emotional roller coaster of every Hotel Hell episode, Mount Vesuvius and Krakatoa decided to make their new homes on my face because of the stress. But luckily, I had Plumpy's designer hydrocolloid acne stickers to take care of this natural disaster. I was so excited to try Plumpy's acne stickers because I'm the big age of 24 still getting acne, and when I break out, I can just put on these cute little stickers on my face and not look like a 14-year-old boy who cut themselves on their first time shaving their peach fuzz facial hair. Plumpy's stickers are made with medical grade hydrocolloid, so it's extremely high quality. They're thick and they're cute, while they help your skin promote the healing process. So don't pick. Stop picking at your pimples. I know you're doing it. Use these stickers instead. It's way better for you and much more effective in healing the mountain ranges on your face without leaving scars. So how it works is you just wash your face, put on these stickers, forget about it for 12 to 24 hours while you're sleeping or during the day, and voila! No destruction of Pompeii on your face today. I absolutely love how confident and cute I still feel wearing these stickers. I've even used them to stream before while I was trying them out, and I know I'll continue using them. So head on over to plumpyskin.com to get yours today. Thanks again to Plumpy for sponsoring this video, plumpyskin.com. But now I want to address the big question. Does Gordon Ramsay even have the authority or hotel experience to be telling other people how to run theirs? I mean, because clearly something that he and his team have done have helped the businesses succeed. And the answer is kind of yes. Actually, before Hotel Hell's premiere in 2012, Gordon Ramsay actually opened up his own hotel in London in 2008. You didn't know that? Well, me neither until 15 seconds ago when I googled it. You're welcome. I'll take my Google AdSense now. Gordon's hotel is called the York and Albany and seems to be doing pretty well until 2015 when they started getting some reviews with some complaints about the hotel needing repairs and cleanings and getting mixed reviews about the food. This all kind of ballooned up in 2017 with some articles exposing this, but we also have to keep in mind here that Gordon Ramsay is not like the owners on Hotel Hell, where he's not there 24/7 managing the hotel. That's not an excuse, but it certainly is a little different, because we can only imagine between Gordon's busy schedule that if he was there running the hotel 24/7, meticulously looming over it like the hunky god he is, the hotel would probably be doing fine. Gordon's obviously hired someone else to manage manage this hotel for him, where he maybe occasionally visits to make sure it's not crumbling to the ground. Once again, this is not an excuse for his mediocre hotel business, but I do think it's important to point out that he's not there 24/7 managing it. And whether or not he should even have that hotel if he can't manage it that's up to you. I don't know, that's your opinion. As of 2020, the reviews of the York and Albany have gotten a bit better, so do with that information what you will. But also, if you think about it, Gordon has been traveling nonstop for like decades, especially throughout the run of Kitchen Nightmares. And quite frankly, he's stayed at a lot of hotels. And eventually, you start to get picky and start noticing things that other people and the owners don't notice.
Right, look, inside.
What is it?
That's mold underneath. How much sweat is on there?
Oh, man.
Always a great way to find out how often a place is cleaned. Check out the filters. Oh dear. That's 15 years of dust.
So with owning one hotel and staying at a lot of them, I'm not sure if he technically qualifies to help other failing hotels fix their business. It's kind of like, well, I've eaten at a lot of restaurants, right? So let me tell you how to fix yours. Though surprisingly, I did find out that Gordon actually studied hotel management as a young man and has worked in numerous hotel kitchens throughout his career, which certainly helps, but compare that to the 35 restaurants Gordon currently owns, with having opened a total of 57 different restaurants throughout his career. He definitely knows his shit when it comes to restauranteering, but hotels? But also, there is a lot of validity to the points that he brings up in these hotels, like dust, bad food.
Wow. Jeez. Absolutely rancid.
Dirty sheets, hair, bugs, mold, etc.
What in the hell has happened to this carpet?
I haven't been up there in a while.
There's more stains on this carpet than inside Hugh Hefner's fucking wife runs.
But it's nothing that a regular patron couldn't point out for themselves. But hell, I'm entertained.
Are they bullet holes in the wall?
You know, they might very well be. I'm not sure what they are.
And with entertainment value, yeah, I'm happy. And can we really argue with the 45% success rate on the show? But that blurb from earlier has been creeping up on me. The hospitality experts that Gordon apparently travels with. So I want to dig deeper and find out their involvement in the show. And we have one of the biggest wonders of reality TV to tackle. How much of hotel hell was real? In my Kitchen Nightmares deep dive, we established that the show was mostly real, with some embellishments from the editors, naturally. Something I think we all expected from a reality TV show. But with hotel hell, I was a little surprised at what I found. I couldn't find any information on these mysterious hospitality experts that loomed over the show. They're like this strange, omniscient presence over the show, watching Gordon Ramsay from afar. Are they ghostwriters in the rap song that is Hotel Hell? What is going on here? It's no secret that reality TV shows have a board of producers. It's not just Gordon Ramsay commandeering the entire operation by himself.
If they lose this hotel, then they lose everything. I need to show them the potential of this place before it's too late.
So my guess is that these hospitality experts are just on the board of producers that oversee improvements and maybe influence the type of help that they give to the hotel owners and really evaluate what the hotel might actually need. Like the renovations, innovative ideas like this cool beer garden with this Japanese meat skewer thingy, etc.
You have a potential gold mine sat there. You have the traffic. You've got to tap into the community.
As for the reality part of the reality show, it's sort of a mixed bag. Obviously, owners of the hotels on the show weren't very happy with the negative portrayal of their failing businesses. From what I read, for the many articles that I read for you, only for you, Gordon, it seems as though the owners were not very receptive to the changes, yet are grateful for the big money investments like hotel renovations where Gordon spends tens of thousands of dollars renovating the rooms on the show. The owners of the Roosevelt Inn, still open to this day, they only sold it in August of this year to new owners, admitted that they only applied to be on the show for publicity. They also claimed that the show intentionally set them up for failure by doing things like telling the kitchen the wrong time that guests would arrive for dinner service, throwing a wrench in the kitchen's preparations. The Towns Inn, also open to this day, barely changed after Gordon left, in my opinion, due to the lack of receptiveness of the change. They're still open, but with mixed reviews at best, and the restaurant portion of the hotel closed in 2018. They claimed that things like the clock that Gordon installed never worked after the renovation, and that the apartment that Gordon rented out to to the owner for 2 months because she was literally living in the hotel. She said that it was not practical for her to manage the hotel. So she went back to living on site. She also claimed that Gordon never showed the kitchen staff how to prepare the new meals from the new menu, essentially setting them up for failure. But every other account that I've read so far stated that they did in fact teach the staff how to cook the new menu in the other hotels. I guess we can't know for sure at the Townsend specifically.
What do you want me to sing? Hallelujah.
That'd be better.
But this doesn't seem to be a reoccurring thing. Like, I think they usually teach the staff how to cook Gordon's new menu. The Vienna, which was the place that burned down in 2017, really just took all of Ramsay's critiques and claims that they didn't pay their staff regularly.
We don't have an actual payroll system.
Asking for your salary.
We have to ask for our salary.
Yeah, I got 20 bucks right now. That's all I got right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Tomorrow morning I'll see you.
They're drip feeding your salaries.
My bank does not take the checks.
Neither does mine.
He just said no in this article's interview, which in my opinion is just BS, because the staff members that claimed that they weren't getting paid regularly were helped. They also claimed that during the show's visit, Mr. Ramsay was here for maybe an hour, Mr. Crash estimated. The rest of it is you're talking to him or he's saying something to the camera. He's not here. He's answering an interview you had. The editing room was very busy. Let's put it that way. Which I wasn't there, so I can't say for sure, but I would bet that Gordon was there for more than an hour. This couple in particular on the show was very unreceptive to change, to the point where the wife even complained that there wasn't a light bulb in one of the new lamps from the renovation. So maybe I'm just being manipulated by TV magic, but I put these articles in the description so you can see and judge for yourself. So it's a mixed bag, a double-edged sword, would you say? You get tens of thousands of dollars in free renovations, maybe new paid-for staff, maybe a new apartment or house you can live in for free for a few months to get you back up on your feet, but you also get absolutely decimated on TV for millions to see. I do believe they try to set you up for success on this show, with the unfortunate side of setting things up for TV and drama, and editing for drama. But I think that mostly happens in the editing room, because on the show itself, it really just seems like the biggest complaints are clock that doesn't work and this lamp doesn't have a light bulb. So I'm tired of writing and I'm tired of talking. Thank you to Plumpy for sponsoring this video. I love their stuff. Follow me on Instagram. I want 10,000 followers on there. Why? Because bigger internet number means bigger self-esteem. Thanks, bye.